construction industry is the second deadliest in the United States, and unfortunate, the Latino construction workers are twice as likely to get injured on the job due to language barriers and a whole bunch of other things. I have here with us Brian Legum, who's going to tell us about the Latinos and immigrants who actually have rights to workers' compensation. Can you tell us about your interest in the Latino community? Brian speaks Spanish. He's fluent in Spanish, speaks it very well. But can you tell us about your interest and why did you learn Spanish and wanted to reach out to the Hispanic community?
Gracias por todo. And I guess I'll speak in both Spanish and English.
Sure.
I was born into a family that didn't speak any Spanish. Grew up in South Florida. My father was in the nursery business, so growing up over the weekends, instead of playing at home, I'd often go to his farms, and a lot of the people who worked there were from Spanish-speaking countries such as Mexico or Dominican Republic. So I had an opportunity to get introduced to the language. So when I had the opportunity to pick a language in school to study, I obviously picked to speak Spanish and continue that education all the way through college, where I majored actually in Spanish language and Spanish literature.
¿Por qué está interesado en ayudando a la comunidad latina?
Bueno, tengo un gran interés ayudando a la comunidad latina, especialmente los trabajadores que tienen un orgullo tan fuerte a hacer un trabajo bueno, pero la comunidad latina no conocen los derechos que tienen, especialmente cuando son lesionados en el trabajo, y ellos tienen miedo a decir algo porque no sepan que tiene derechos. Y yo he visto esto y no hay muchas personas que hablan español que son abogados, y por eso tengo una oportunidad de educar a la comunidad latina.
Can you tell us what are some of the services that you provide for those in the Latino community and the community as a whole here in Delaware?
So I work for firm Kimmel Carter, Roman Peltz and O'Neill, and we focus specifically on workers' compensation, so people who are injured while they're working, and other personal injuries such as personal injury auto. Actually, that's solely what we do, those two facets of personal injury. So, and the majority of my practice within the firm is working with Hispanic individuals who've gotten injured on the job and educating them on their rights and making sure they get the benefits that they're entitled to.
¿Y puede decir en español qué tipos de servicios ofrece a la comunidad hispana?
Bueno, pues los servicios, siempre las consultas que puedo dar a la comunidad son gratis, pues si son confidencial completamente, pues cualquier cosa que vamos a discutir por teléfono o en persona, cara a cara, es confidencial, y yo puedo ofrecer a estas personas un resumen de los derechos que pueden recibir si son lesionados en el trabajo y, informarles si hay un caso y beneficios que pueden recibir abajo de las reglas del Estado.
And for our immigrants, we were talking about that fear. There's that language barrier, those that come here undocumented and are working for these construction companies and end up getting hurt on the job. They tend to not seek help or know of their rights. So can you explain to us some of the rights that they do have?
So the rights that someone's entitled to under workers' compensation if they're injured in the course and scope of their employment are quite numerous, such as medical expenses related to their injuries, payment of wages because they're taken out of work for as a result of their injuries, and compensation for any type of permanent impairment. Now, those rights are completely separate and distinct and have no real direct relationship to any type of issues that they might potentially have as it relates to immigration. So it's important when I meet with my clients that I explain to them that obviously everything that we talk about is confidential, but if they do happen to have an immigration issue, I make sure that we communicate with an immigration lawyer if it's an issue that presents itself. But the community should know that they can come and speak to an attorney and learn about what their rights are and not be worried that initiating that conversation is going to have any effect on their status as a documented or undocumented person.
Right. Y en español, ¿puede explicar los derechos que la persona tiene?
Bueno, una persona que es lesionado en el trabajo, tiene un derecho a recibir gastos médicos pagados 100%, que son relacionados al accidente y los daños del accidente. Y también la persona tiene unos derechos a recibir compensación por ingreso perdido, un porcentaje. Y hay otros beneficios, y depende de la situación, si aplica o no. Y por eso es importante que cada persona obtiene una consulta con un abogado para explicar estos beneficios, porque no hay no está perdiendo nada, no hay ningún riesgo a obtener esta información.
And Brian, a big one is car accidents. Sometimes you have Spanish-speaking only residents or undocumented citizens who get into a car accident and have that fear right away. Oh my God, police is coming. We have to document this. What are some things that you can say should one get into a car accident? What are some rights that they have? What not to be afraid of?
So, for people who obviously, if you get into a car accident, my recommendation is obviously if you're hurt in any extent, you should definitely seek the medical attention and not be adverse to going to the hospital if you're hurt. And my also advice is to make sure that when you go and you get treatment, to be honest with the medical providers, and keep track of the treatment that you receive. Take pictures if you're able to, and seek help. Seek legal help if it is important to you, because you can, there's no cost to doing that, and it's important that you seek information and know your rights, and then you can make an educated decision if you want to pursue any type of legal action.
¿Y puedes repetirlo en español?
Sí, claro que sí, pues es importante si has tenido un accidente en un coche, es importante que sepa la información y los derechos que puede recibir. Bueno, primero es importante que obtenga, tratamiento médico, y que cuando está recibiendo tratamiento, que está honesta con el doctor y las preguntas y por qué ha ocurrido ese accidente. De vez en cuando la comunidad hispana tiene nervios a contar una historia válido, de lo que ha pasado en un accidente, porque tiene miedo. Y finalmente es importante que obtenga, una consulta, y no hay ningún gasto para obtener una consulta y obtener información sobre los beneficios que puede obtener, y con esa información puede hacer una decisión informada.
Wonderful. Gracias para toda esa información.
Muchísimas gracias de tener la oportunidad de estar aquí.
De nada. Thank you, Brian. On behalf of all of us here at WITN 22, I'm Yesenia Taveras. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.